Homecoming here at Dondero High School at the halftime score 6-0. Let's go down onto the field and hear the Dondero High School marching band.
This season, the Pistons and the Red Wings are playing together under one roof. Yours. Pass Sports is your ticket to over 40 Pistons and 44 Red Wings games right in your own living room. All this and a special pass offer is now available. Call to subscribe today. Tune in to Pass this fall and winter for exciting CCAJ hockey, MAC Conference sports, the greatest games in baseball history, winter sports shows, and more. Call your cable system today for this special pass offer. Pass Sports. Just watch us.
With halftime drawing to a close here at Dondero High School, let's take a look at some of the statistics from halftime. Here we go. Passing, Adams led 32 yards to none for Dondero. Rushing, 47-95. The Oaks dominating there. All their yards coming from that. And total offense, a well-balanced attack for the Highlanders. Turnovers, 1 apiece. First downs, 4 for Adams and 5 for Dondero. Time of possession, pretty even, Bob.
Well, everything looks pretty even on the board. Looking at the passing yards right there, Adams picked up a big chunk of that on the last play. Got about 20 of the 32 yards. So they really didn't get a lot going at that point.
That is a little deceiving.
The only touchdown scored on a fumble recovery after a nice run. So I'll tell you what, 6-0, not a big lead. A lot of football to come here in this half.
Yeah, the Oaks lead 6-0. They have shut out 3 teams this year. And at halftime right now, they're looking good to do that again, although the new quarterback, number 7, Randy Ouellette, that got in, he threw a nice bomb before the half there, but it was short. Well, it is halftime, and it was homecoming night here at Dondero High School, and here are some of the queens in the court for Dondero High School as we pan down the line. And believe me, they had to get off that field quick because it is very cold now. The wind has whipped up, and the weatherman forecasted it.
Look at them. It's cold out there, I'll tell you. Those girls have a lot of guts going out there without coats on.
And that is why some of the players have to really stretch out even more right now. That is that is number 27, Steve Knoll. There you see a beautiful moon here.
Not a harvest moon, I'll tell you that.
Not a harvest moon,
Too
but
cold.
A nice shot. 6-0 the score as we're ready to start the second half.
The wind's going to affect both of these teams here in the second half. Number 1, it's going to affect the punting if you've got a punt against the wind. But number 2, if you've got to try to come from behind against the wind, it's going to make it real difficult for either team. So right now, both teams got to play mistake-free football and try to get that running attack going, because neither of them have a real good job right now.
No, it is very strange that the wind is coming from the east and it from the northeast as the flag is waving, because it would normally come from the west, and we wouldn't get that much because we have a train bypass right to the west of the field and a lot of trees blocking the wind on a normal situation. But it is coming from the east, and it's wide open and kicking with the wind. And number 23, Lequire kicks off to number 81, and that is Rudder. Rudder returns it out to about the 30-yard line. That's where we'll start.
Decent field position. You're going to see Rudder right here. It's a straight-up runner, and there's good and bad things about that. The bad thing is when you run straight up like he's doing right there, you can be hit up high and slow down. And that's what happens right there. Ball's almost stripped. He runs up high, puts his head down. He gets the ball to the 30-yard line. Decent starting field position.
Albert Walker down there, one of the defensive men on the tackle. Straight dive for the Oaks, and they continue their ground attack. All of the yards coming on the ground. There you see head coach Fred Fuhr, his team 5-1 coming into the game tonight. A tough loss last week to West Bloomfield, in which he lost 13-12.
Both teams are going to come out of the second half and see if they made any adjustments. Right now, it looks like the Oaks are doing exactly what they did in the first half, running the ball straight up the middle.
2nd and 5 now for Mike Dawson and the Oaks. 2 men in the backfield, split. Receivers in a pro set. And Perino on the run. Perino close to a first down, but he'll be a couple yards short.
Good offensive line surge that time. We're able to get a nice hole open for the running back, who got about a 5-yard gain. Just short of the first down, will be 3rd and 1.
Perino getting most of the yardage tonight. And they have been pretty balanced, though. Andy Whitney has been in there, and Mullen on occasion. 3rd and a long one coming up now for the Oaks. And pushing for the first down is the quarterback, Mike Dawson, who puts his head down and picks it up for the first down. Dawson, nothing but white and yellow surrounding him, but he got it.
Exactly what they did in the first half when they had 3rd and inches to go. Quarterback just took the ball a step back and then went right up the field for the first down.
We have only seen one good sustained drive tonight, and that was by the Oaks, and it ended in a fumble deep in Highlander territory. So they didn't score off that one. They're going to try to put something together here. Dawson to pass, going deep, intended for Rudder. Rudder hit low by number 16, and he is down Dave Donnelly, but he was also covered well up top too. Donnelly is down. Let's take a look.
He had time to throw this ball. It was underthrown. That's why it was not caught, because I'll tell you what, Rudder was out there and he was open. He had to come back a little bit for this one. Now watch. Right there, he's open. He's had to come back for the ball, and that's where the collision takes place. And number 16 is still down.
That is Dave Donnelly. Wondering if we have word that might be a problem with his head, but it looks like he might have had the wind knocked out of him. Let's take a look again.
Watch Rudder's knee now. As he goes down, you're going to see his knee go right into his side as he falls down on it. There it is, right there. The knee might have either knocked the wind out of him or need him in the ribs. Either way, he's still down.
He is moving his feet, so that's good. And wincing in pain, so that is not good, but it looks like he's going to get up. And he does. So, fortunately, Bob just got the wind knocked out of him. As you mentioned, the knee of Rudder got right into Donnelly and knocked the wind out of him. 6-0 the score in a very tough battle here. The 3-3 Highlanders against the 5-1 Oaks, and the 3-3 Highlanders really thought that they could really do a lot this year. Here's Dawson on a 2nd and 10. Complete. And enough for the first down. And Rudder, again the intended receiver, comes up with the reception. First down for the Oaks.
It looks like the plan of attack here in the second half is to go to the air. They did not move the ball in the first half on the ground. That was evident. So they're going to try to change that strategy.
Here's the familiar face of Neil Monroe, and he hosts Oakland Press Perspective every Friday at 8:30 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. To the action, and lunging forward is Whitney, the fullback, for about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and about 6 coming up.
Dawson almost didn't get that ball handed off to him in time. Bumped into him a little bit, but did not impede the play, and he was able to get a 4-yard gain.
Oaks coming up now, 2nd and 6. They have started to pass the ball. They had no yards passing at halftime until that reception there by Rudder to start the third quarter here on this drive. Perino. Gain of about 3 or 4 for him, and it'll bring up a 3rd in short yardage.
They're making some nice plays here. They're trying to mix it up, and that's the big difference in their ground attack now. They're getting 3 or 4 yards where in the first half they weren't. Offensive line surge. Look at the block at the point of attack. They sustain their blocks. 66, the defensive lineman comes down, was able to slow him up before he hit the hole. But still a nice gain. 3rd down and about 2.
Dawson, the quarterback, I formation in the backfield. Fakes to the tailback and gives to Robinson around the end, and he picks up the first down. Bobby Robinson. Let's see where they mark it, though. They may not give him a generous mark. And they don't. They bring it back.
Oh, man.
He may be short.
Looks like he had problems with his foot. He's feeding out there. It's getting colder, so that ground might start getting slick. So it looks like he's about a quarter of a yard short, say a foot.
Yeah, about a half the length of the football here. Maybe a full length. Let's see.
Quarterback should take this one straight
up.
up.
Going. It has worked, and he has taken it himself on other occasions. He does it again and picks up the first down. So Dawson again, not a very good average tonight carrying, but he's picked up some big yardage.
He's picked up 2 third downs and a 4th down here, so those are big plays. And I'll tell you what, right now, that's an excellent call when you got 3rd and inches. That's the best play you can call. 3rd and a long one, I don't know. That might be tough. You have to really depend on your offensive line surge.
First and 10. Now the Oaks with probably one of their best drives of the night.
Well, they've had 10 plays so far, so that's the longest drive of the night.
And eating up the clock. 7:37 left in the third quarter. I formation. Fake to the tailback again, and coming around to Pereno, who was flanked out on the wide side. Pereno down the sideline, and finally knocked out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. No, they say he stepped out before that. So Pereno, with his speed, busts it open down the sideline and puts the Oaks in scoring position again.
He showed some speed there, but it looked more of a sustained type run. He was running down the line looking for a place to cut back in, didn't see it, and then turned it on at the last second. So he's trying to catch his breath right there, so that's a good point.
Tony Pereno, big run, sets up the Oaks here. Here's Mullen. Mullen hit at the line of scrimmage, flags fly.
Well, when that referee throws that flag, you know what it is.
Yeah, it looks like a holding call.
That's what it is.
And that hurts the Oaks. The first penalty against the Oaks in this drive.
Here's the replay of the end around right here. And you can see right here, he takes the ball, and he's not running full speed. He's looking for a place to cut up. 21's going to come up here, miss the tackle. That allows him to get outside and take the ball down the sideline for the big gain. He's got 14 carries so far for 93 yards. A good day for him.
Big play for Tony Pereno. And that end around has worked so well for the Oaks. Now they've got to come up big. They have got a 1st and 20. That should be 1st and 20. Here's the Robinson around the end.
Well, they're going back to their bread and butter, and here's the key right here. Robinson again is going to come back from around the end. 2 fakes inside, fake the counters. Here comes Robinson. Knows he can't go outside. Cuts the ball back up inside. Some good tackling in there stops him from getting any kind of decent gain.
Gain of about 5. And it'll be 2nd and 15.
I like the way they double faked inside, the double counter fake. That could freeze a lot of those linebackers and allow them to get outside. That time it didn't.
I formation. Slot back in there, and they've got good protection, and into the end zone, and intercepted. Intercepted. Mike Dawson inside the 5-yard line. The Highlanders will get it there, and again, they stop another big Oaks drive.
This pass should not have been thrown. He had 3 guys on him. He's looking at him all the way. He's got to look away from that receiver, because I'll tell you what, he's just telegraphing where that ball is thrown. And Stoner was standing right there. Looked like the ball was thrown to him.
You see a number of jerseys down there. I don't know if I can't throw as well as Dawson can, but I sure wouldn't throw in a direction of that many jerseys.
Well, he's looking that way the whole time, and that doesn't help.
Dondero 6, Adams nothing, and another big drive stalls for the Oaks. They'll get it. The Highlanders will get it at the 5, 1st and 10.
I'll tell you what, that's a shame of a way to end a long drive like that. They held the ball close to 6 minutes, and I'll tell you what, that play should not have been thrown. Should have threw the ball right out of bounds.
It started to go bad with the holding call, and then all of a sudden they put themselves in a 1st and 20 position. Don't forget to tune in to Oakland Forum Fridays at 9 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. Oakland Forum talking about issues in and around Oakland County.
Dave, you know what's really impressive about that drive is they were going against the wind. And that's going to be a key factor because they're going to have the wind in the 4th quarter. Keep that in mind because I'll tell you what, if they get ahead, it's going to be real difficult for Adams to come back against the wind. And right now it's blowing at about 20, 25 miles an hour in gusts.
Yeah, and feeling the wind. You can see the packed house here. Full stands, full capacity for homecoming here at Dondero High School.
Some of the alumnus coming back and seeing what the old high school's up to.
And they're up to a 5-1 season, doing well right now, up to possibly their 4th shutout. If the Highlanders don't come up with anything. Man in motion. Handoff to the tailback in a big run here by number 33, and that is Volpetti. Volpetti seeing some action now with some speed too. Tried to put a little spin move at the end there.
Well, good gain on first down. I'll tell you what, that's going to be the key to the second half, is if they can get a good gain. Right here you see the offensive line surge are able to get out and sustain their blocks. They get around the corners and able to turn their men in. All the blockers at the line of scrimmage held their blocks for at least 2 or 3 seconds. And I'll tell you what, that's fundamental football.
Smetana was in motion and he kicked out. Again, Volpetti on the carry picks up the first down. So Vince Volpetti comes in, the junior, 5'11" running back, 161 with some speed for Jack Runche.
Only their 5th first down, but I'll tell you what, couldn't come at a better time. Here's the handoff. He might have picked the wrong hole, but he goes with the flow of the traffic and is able to take the ball for about a 5-yard gain for the first down.
Power I in the backfield, Volpetti again. This time stacked up and bodies flying all over. We'll bring up a second down.
Brought down by Eric Stevens.
And about 7 coming up.
Well, that's going to make it difficult for them. They're not a throwing team. Although they have the wind at their back right now, it's very difficult for them to be in a second and long position. So they need to get a little longer gain on first down.
There you see the clock counting down. 4:50 now. Volpetti again on the carry. He has been the main man on this drive. And it'll bring up a 3rd and long now for the Highlanders. Well, he went to the well one too many times now, huh?
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, the first half, all they did in this situation was the draw play. They might be setting them up for something different here. If they fake a draw, run a short screen out here to the tight end, that might be a good play to call.
Let's see what they go with. 3rd down now for the Highlanders. And 6. One man in the backfield. A little bit of movement before the snap. They will not call it. Volpetti is hit before the ball gets to him, and it's a definite interference call.
I'll tell you what, I'm wondering whether or not Steve Noel did have interference that time. It looked like he might have been on his back, but they're going to call it, and it's going to be a first down.
A big break for the Highlanders as it looked like the Oaks were going to stop them. Let's take a look.
Watch Noel here. Let's see if he's able to climb on his back before the ball gets there. Here's 27.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was. Good call.
So Adams comes up big now on the penalty, the pass interference. And a little bit more room to work with now for the Highlanders. 2 receivers up top, 1 split down at the bottom. Petruskevich handing off and hit in the backfield by number 67. A correction, that was 62. Eric Stevens.
Now, I'll tell you what, Eric got in there fast. He got in there so fast, I don't think the quarterback even saw him come in. Watch Eric come right through the line here.
Vince and Eric right about now.
Yet, but watch this. Head-on collision. Boom.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13 now for the Highlanders. Pitch again back to Volpetti and gaining maybe a yard or 2 past the original line of scrimmage. Nonetheless, it'll bring up a 3rd down and long now for the Highlanders.
This pitch looks a little uncontrolled, but I'll tell you what, it got what it wanted to do. He wanted to get the ball outside and get the out in front of the blockers, and that time he was able to do that for a short gain. But he's stuck with 3rd and long now. Last time they tried to throw the pass, no play action. They need to get the quarterback some more time.
3rd and 9 now. Volpetti, the only back in the backfield. Petruskevich to pass. And incomplete, hit the ground.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I'll tell you what.
He would have had the first down.
Mighty close.
Andy Petruskevich throwing to his brother Greg, and he'll come back at us now.
Here's
Watch.
the play action right here. Now that throws the linebackers, gives them a little more time. Now he rolls to the right. Here's the play. Watch the ball.
Bounce? I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Look
From what
fuzzy.
I saw, I think it bounced, but inconclusive, as the refs would say. Punting down for the Highlanders, and a big booming punt. Inside and into the end zone. A great punt by Russo, but he kicked it so hard and so fast that his team couldn't catch up to
I'll
it.
tell you what, this ground's starting to get hard. It's like hitting on a cement and watching a ping pong ball keep rolling and rolling and rolling.
There's your score. Oaks 6, Highlanders nothing, and we are in the third quarter. 2:35 left in the third.
Dave, keep in mind, this game is up for grabs. I mean, neither team has really come out and took charge of this game.
Well, take charge on Saturday and Monday nights with the Roadshow video program. That's right here on United Artists 63 at 9 p.m. And that's right after the football game, Bob. Right after us.
Right after us.
Yeah.
Hey, stay tuned. Don't change that channel.
New, exciting, exotic places. There's our Gary goes to, again, number 29, Perino. It'll bring up a second down.
They want to keep the ball on the ground. They want to run time off the clock. If they can keep the ball for the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds right here, and are able to sustain a drive, go down for a score, I'll tell you what, it's going to close the door.
Gain of 3 for Perino, will bring up 2nd and 7. And again, Perino in the carry. Perino just short of the first down by a couple yards.
Tackle from behind.
There.
Number 53, linebacker, comes up from behind, is able to catch up to him. Good sustained blocking at the line of scrimmage. Here's the play, 53 running through the line of scrimmage, tackles him from behind.
3rd and 2 coming up. A little too far back for a quarterback sneak. Power eye set. Mullen is the other back in there. Whitney is the first back. Mullen gets it on a cross block and a first down right at midfield.
That's exactly what they needed that time. I'll tell you what, this is a big first down because it will take the rest of the time off the clock or close to it.
Fake to the fullback and cutting across on the cross block, Matt Mullen. And a big gain.
One of the many tailbacks now. Perino's got 16 carries of 101. Mullen's pushing 50 himself.
Mullen has quietly gotten 50. He hasn't carried that often, but has come up with some big carries. Whitney, the fullback, he's up. The tailback is Perino. Perino has it, busts outside, first down and more. One man to beat, and he got him. Getting him outside was Chris Pardon. Pardon tripped him up. Perino really knows how to use his blocks and really knows how to run. He's got speed, but he doesn't always use it.
Deceptive speed. Now take a look right here. He's running outside. He wants to get a look downfield. He gets his look, takes the ball, makes another juke step to the outside to avoid that tackler. Now he knows where the sideline is, and keep that in mind because he's had 3 runs today that were down the sideline for big gainers.
This one at about the 22-yard line. Again, Mullen cutting it across on a counter and gains a couple yards on it. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a nice 24-yard run by Perino.
So Perino has done the work on the ground for the Oaks. Again, we mentioned that he was a league champion in the 100 and 200-yard dashes. So he has the speed. As you see the clock winding down here in the third quarter, we'll get one more playoff with a 2nd and 8. I formation, power I. Perino cutting it upfield, and another big run for Tony Perino. And that'll be the last play of the third quarter as we go into the fourth. And the Oaks on the move again. They have had 2 big drives stalled because of turnovers. One a fumble, another one an interception, and now Perino wants to make up for those. 6-0 the score as we go into the fourth. Let's take a look.
Here's Perino again. I'll tell you what, this is sheer speed. He takes the ball in the backfield, 2-3 steps, and boom, he hits that line hard. Watch him go. Well, keeps his head down, keeps those legs moving, and that's a sign of a good running back. They teach you that in practice. They said in the old sled drills, you keep your head down, you keep those legs moving.
Fred Fear with a great complement of backs in there. Don't forget, next week, Warren Mott will take on Clawson and the Trojans at home Saturday and Monday night at 7 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. That should be a pretty good matchup, too, between those two schools. just as we've seen here tonight. 6-0 the score, and it's been anybody's game. No one's really taken control. 3rd and 2 coming up now for the Oaks. Again, power I in the backfield. And drawing the defense off. Mike Dawson does a great job and picks up the first down. So the Oaks get the first without even snapping the ball, and let's see where they'll get it. They may be able to pick up another first down before they get in the end zone. There you see the crowd here on homecoming night at Dondero High School. First down at about the 12, so they can pick up a first down inside the 2-yard line. Power I, right, and they go left. Perino spun around and finally gets the whistle. I really couldn't tell how much he got from this angle, but not much at all.
So you got a couple yards, and he's basically stood up and they had nowhere to go. And here's Perino. He's going to take the ball, nothing up the middle, cuts it back outside. Here's good defense that time with the defensive end and the linebackers to come up and stop him. 66 on the tackle.
Gain of about 2 makes it 2nd and 8 now for the Oaks. And they are finally smelling a touchdown coming up here. They scored back on their very first drive of the game. Perino the tailback. This time they go to Mullen on a straight dive.
That's a good call down there by the goal line. You want to keep the defense honest. If they're trying to go and cut off the outside, that offensive quick hitter will oftentimes work.
Fred Fuhrer catches him off guard, and it'll bring up a 3rd down now. And about 4.
Now remember, they can get a first down before they get a touchdown.
Yeah, they can, if they pick up just a little bit more than 4, they can get a first down if they don't get in the end zone. Power I right again. The tailback, Perino. Let's see where they mark it. It's going to be close. Perino knocked back. He was hit hard when he got in there and getting up slowly.
Here's Perino again. He's taking the ball, following his running back, 46 up the hole. 53, the linebacker, you're going to see right here, stands him up and pulls him back. Good tackle. Looks like he's going to be short of the first down, be 4th down and about a half a yard.
So 4th and about 1 coming up now. They can pick up the first. Power I right again. The fullback, Whitney. Looks like he may have gotten it.
Didn't have far to go. Looks like his momentum took him over for the first down.
Let's take a look. Whitney, the fullback.
They're following their blockers. They're following the other running backs. This time he didn't follow him, kind of slid outside, but was able to knock the defender back far enough. His momentum got him the first down.
Good surge. He kept pushing, and I think it was that second lunge that got him through.
That's the 9th first down this half. Almost doubles what they did in the first half.
So the Oaks, talking it over at halftime, knew what they had to do, and it's good, hard-hitting football. They came up with the first down now. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line for the Oaks. Full house in the backfield, 2 tight ends. Straight up the middle, and the Highlanders won't give it to him, though. Whitney on the carry.
Well, this is where they fell apart in the last drive. 11 plays, then they threw the interception. That's the 11th play. Let's see what they do in the 12th. Can they put it in? We'll see. Because if they do, I'll tell you what, it's going to be real tough to come back on this Royal Oak team. It's homecoming, and they'll be pumped up if they put it in the end zone.
That's right, but the Highlanders know it is too, and they're just as pumped up to try to stop them on a goal line stand here. 2nd and 2. Mychik on the stop last time. Power I, taking it himself. Dawson. No signal for a touchdown, but he's inching closer and closer. 3rd down now.
Offensive line did not get a great surge that time. He's trying to run up behind the center, puts his head down, and he actually got hit by his own man. The tackle came across and bumped him backwards. Otherwise, he might have had the touchdown.
A big 3rd and goal now. 3rd and about 1.
126-301.
Power I right. No correction, they're going full house again. Again to Whitney. And he didn't get over.
I'll tell you what, that second effort almost allowed him to get open.
You wonder why they don't go outside now with the speed of Perino. Let's take a look.
We're going to take a look at some good defense this time. Watch him get hit and get hit hard. Boom. Right there. Hit right on the helmet. He was able to get his composure back and lunge forward toward the goal line, but he was short. Now, there's a big call right here. If they kick a field goal, it's going to take 2 scores to beat them. So at this point, if they go for the touchdown and don't get it, it could be a real big play in this game.
Dondero stands on their feet and cheering. Mullen is stopped. 4 downs. And the Highlanders stop them. On homecoming night, the Oaks just couldn't get it in the end zone from first and goal from the 2.
I got to question that call. Field goal would have forced them to score 2, to have 2 scores to win. Now watch this. The offensive line does not have enough players there to block the defense. It's just simple mathematics. They don't have enough players. And he's stuck way in the backfield and lost 3 yards.
Perino, you can see him standing at the goal line, let one of his men go, but it was too late already. There were 2 defenders on him.
Long way to go, though, for Rochester.
Works out to be like a great punt. You had a great drive, eat up the clock, and very tough for the Oaks not getting in the end zone. Well, their shutout still stands, and they're hoping that the defense can hold here.
What, the second drive of this half that they came up with nothing. And I'll tell you what, they should have came up with at least 3 that
But let's talk about the great defensive playing of the Highlanders. They have been doing so well, and Jack Runche's team, and he made this clear before the game, we have been doing so well against the run this year.
They showed at that time 4 plays inside the 2, and they didn't score.
Yeah, a pass might have surprised him. And Rudder has been so good for him this year. Here's the run, McDougal trying to get some breathing room for the Highlanders. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 3 coming up. 6:31 left in the 4th quarter.
And time is now becoming a factor, I'll tell you what. Royal Oak took a lot of time off here in the second half, 13 minutes. They've got total time of possession compared to 3 for Rochester. Rochester needs to sustain a drive here, go all the way down. If they do and take the time off, they can win this game.
3rd and a little bit less than 4. Diving forward McDougal, and he didn't really get that much. Let's see where they mark it.
You know, you think about it, Dave, you think about possession time, you think about being able to control the ball, and it means nothing unless you put points on the board.
Well, he got enough for a measurement. Let's take a look, Bob.
Pick the ball back, he's able to pick his hole, runs behind the blockers, run behind the backs, and the backs give him a nice hole. He kind of trips. He doesn't get as close as he wants to take the dive. He kind of just lunged forward. He's going to be close, but I think he's going to be short.
Let's take a look. No. Let's see what they got.
By about an inch.
Maybe he might have gotten it by the nose of the football. No. You see it right there, by an inch.
Got good peepers.
That's right. Jeepers. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game. The Highlanders want to put together right here a 99-yard drive to possibly tie and go ahead.
I'll tell you what, they're going to have to punt against the wind if they're going to do it.
Well, the wind has kind of died down.
They're going to go for it. Look at this.
4th and 1, and they're going. And they missed the handoff. The ball is loose. And it doesn't matter.
Oh, what a break.
The quarterback had to fall on the ball. Petroskevich didn't get a good snap. He had to fall on it. And McDougal was looking for it. Let's take a look.
Replay.
Oh, here it is.
Does he miss the handoff? The ball's slipping out of his hand right there. Did you see it? The ball's slipping out of his hand. He isn't able to get the ball over to him in time, and the ball is dropped right there. Oh, my gosh. I'll tell you what, a gutsy call. Maybe the right call, but the snap was not handled well.
Eric Stevens got in there again. Here's Perino. Perino on a big run, getting it down to the goal line.
You know, I'd like to say I can question that call on 4th down and inches from that point in time. They're only down 6-0, but they had to punt against the wind. Keep that in mind. It's a cold day. The ball's getting hard. It might have been the right call. If they executed the play right, it might have been the right call, but they didn't.
Yep, there you see Rich Strange. He was on the sideline. The defense coming up big there. Power eye. Inches to go. Perino gets in. Touchdown, Oaks. Well, it took them a few quarters, but they got in again.
I tell you what, the most unusual way for them to see a two-play drive compared to the 11 plays they ran before and 15 plays before that. Here we go on the second play of this one. He just waits, he showed some patience there. And that was the key to the play. He took a look, knew that he had to run up his back, so waited for him to get downfield a little bit and was able to take it in for the touchdown.
So Tony Perino gets in on a 1-yard run, makes it 12-0, and they're going to go for 2 right here. I formation in the backfield. Dawson to pass, and it is incomplete. Intended for Mullen, and he just threw it right in the ground. And that's where we stand.
5 minutes left, though.
12-0, 5:02 left on the clock. The Oaks scored on their first drive in the first quarter and did not score again until the fourth right here with 5:02 left. Don't forget to tune in to Transition with host Jeff Miller, Saturday at 10 p.m. right here on United Artists 63.
What a turn of events.
Now you saw some big defensive plays there, a goal line stand by the Highlanders that did not allow the Oaks to get in. And then the Oaks stopping the Highlanders on a 4th and 1. So pretty much that whole drive that the Oaks took really worked out to their advantage anyway.
Can't look, yeah, that's
as you look back at it.
Sure.
Even though it was a 2-play drive to get into the end zone, they pretty much took it down the drive before.
Are you trying to tell me it all comes out in the wash?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. They took it down on the drive before and said, okay, we'll score next drive. We'll just hold them down here. There you see Whitney to kick. Whitney scored the first touchdown back in the first quarter on a fumble recovery. A low squiv kick, touched by one of the Highlanders, so it was a free ball, and taking it around to the outside, this guy is quick. Number 18, Rushwin. Rushwin took the opening kickoff, if you recall, all the way inside the 20, deep into Oak territory, but they called it back, and that changed things drastically for the Highlanders.
Well, he got a nice bounce here. He's able to look up the field before he caught it, so that allowed him to get a little more time to get outside, turn on his speed, and get a decent return and have some of the best field position they've had.
Chris Rushwin on the return, and the Highlanders now with a new quarterback. Olette throwing, tipped and almost tipped into the hands of Greg Petroskevich. Petroskevich, as you see him pick up the ball, almost got a friendly tip. The drive for Dondero, 2 plays, 53 seconds, and covered 7 yards.
Not the prototypical drive that they've been doing all day, but it worked. We were told before the game that Adams will shift quarterbacks when they come in and bring Ryan Ouellette in when the passing time comes, and this is the time. They're down 12-0.
Ouellette is in there, I formation, pro set with the receivers. Ouellette back to pass. He's going deep. Up for grabs and out of bounds. Intended down there for Pardon, Chris Pardon, and a good defensive play down there by the Oaks.
Ouellette shows a strong arm here. He's got plenty of time. Drop back type passer, takes 4 steps back and lets the ball go. Now, I'll tell you what, this ball is up for grabs. He's well covered, but the ball still could have been caught by either man.
Bobby Robinson down there defensively. 3rd and 10 now for the Highlanders. Again, Ouellette to pass. He's pressured. Throws short to Pardon. It'll be 4th and a couple yards coming up.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on Ouellette that time. He was able to get the ball away, but I'll tell you what, short of the first down. Last week he showed some magic, brought him down, and scored a touchdown with about a minute to go. Today, short, two incompletions and a short pass. They're going to have to punt, but they're not going to go for it.
4th and 2. They go for it. A little screen, and it is incomplete. Intended out there for McDougal and just threw it out of his reach, but he was hit. And it's a first down going the other way. The Oaks pick it up again. They lead 12-0 with 4:01 left. The Oaks can pretty much cap it off if they get into the end zone this time. There you see Bobby Robinson playing Both offense and defense doing a great job. A lot of speed on that guy. The senior can also throw the ball well. Power eye left. Perino, the tailback, and he gets the call. Follows his block from the fullback and gains about 4 yards.
22 carries for Perino, 147 yards on the day. He's got most of them here in the second half. 122 yards in the second half.
A flag on the play, and they mark it short for about 4. Let's see what the call is. This one may knock him back a little bit. And I think it will.
Flag on the play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, though, and it's going to give him a first down. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Highlanders.
Well, that's a shame, too, I'll tell you, because this has been a hard-fought, well-played game up to this point. We saw tempers flaring a little in the first half, but it was well-controlled. You know, these kids are down here playing hard. It's a good, tough game for them. Well-matched teams. No call for this, though. You got to be able to keep your emotions in check.
This really hurt the Highlanders, and there you see the Oaks fan looking at all the yards that they pick up on this penalty.
She's one of the girls in the court.
And they are, yes, one of the queens in the court. There you see Jack Runchie, who really didn't need this. Ball at about the 11-yard line. 1st and 10. In motion is Perino up top, but they go inside to the fullback. And Whitney, if he gains anything, it's not much. It'll bring up a 2nd and long.
Well,
maybe a half yard on the carry.
3 minutes and 15 seconds counting down. All they've got to do here is either put the ball in the end zone, even if they don't score, knock a couple minutes off the clock, and this game is just about history.
Clock, and it's winding down at about 3 minutes now. 2nd and 9. They can, again, pick up a first down inside the 1-yard line. This one goes to number 44, and that's Dinkelman who's in there. Jeff Dinkelman, number 44, the junior running back, seeing some action.
Straight handoff. Watch 44 here. No hold. He's going to look and run into a lot of people.
He ran into his quarterback, too. He went a little too far back, dropped back into the backfield. Should have cut up, but more of an angle straight to the hole.
Exactly, yeah.
So it brings up a 3rd and 8 now. Clock winding down, getting down. We don't have a 2-minute warning, but hey, we're going to warn you. It's right around 2 minutes. The tailback, Perino trying to bust it outside. Good pursuit this time by number 83, Aaron Avery. Let's take a look at Aaron Avery getting in there on Tony Perino.
You watch Perino right here. He's not showing a lot of speed. He's looking for a hole. He's looking for his hole right here. Doesn't decide to turn on the burners to the last second, but by then Avery's able to kind of dive out and tackle him by his ankles.
Loss on the play of about a yard or 2, and it brings up a 4th and long. 4th and about 12. Dawson, back to pass, has plenty of time. Unloads, and it's short again, intended down there for Whitney.
Tight end was wide open coming across the field, never looked at him. The difference between a college and a high school quarterback is tutoring. He's looking right all the way. Take a look. Here's the play action. He's looking right, never looks left, never looks across the middle. Still looking right, waiting for his receiver to get open, was never open, and underthrows the ball. See, look there in the top left corner, wide open.
Yeah.
There you go.
1:27 left. And not much time for the Highlanders to get 12 points. Long, wide open. Oh, just out of the reach of Greg Petroskevich.
Trying to hit the blow on the fly.
Yeah, that was Olette throwing that one, wasn't it?
It was more of a stop and go than a fly, though, because it looked like he was hung up at the line of scrimmage, then took off, blew by the defender, had the ball out there, and I'll tell you what, within an inch or 2 of being a touchdown.
Nice pass by Olette, just let him a little too much.
Against the wind.
Against the wind. 1:20 on the clock, and it is stopped because of the incomplete pass. Dondero 12, Adams nothing. 4th quarter. Last-ditch effort here by the Highlanders to get on the board, and they stop them when they get a first down. Ball is loose. The whistle did not go off. It was a fumble. They did not blow it on forward motion, but they did blow it after the Oaks pick it up. Jack Runcie on the field, and rightly so. I don't know. I thought they should have blew the whistle maybe a little earlier,
well,
Bob.
That's possibly, but I'll tell you what, either way, nothing's going Rochester Adams' way right now, because that ball is well thrown right in there.
Okay.
Now let's take a look right here.
Did they stop him? I think he's pretty much stopped.
I agree with you. They should have. Well, he's done. Then he turns the ball and tries to go up, though. But I'll tell you what, you're right. I think he should have blew the whistle.
That was Jack Runcie's argument. I kind of agree with that. And he's not happy. Oaks get it back with 40-some seconds left, 48 and counting down now. And all they can do is just sit on the ball. They're going to give it to one of the fresh backs. As you can tell, uniform a little cleaner than the other ones. That's Jim Kinsey. Kinsey in there, the senior fullback. So Kinsey wanted to bust one outside.
Well, he played today. Now watch this. He makes a nice play. Watch his left arm. Nice stiff arm right there. Don't get it under his face mask. That's a penalty. Turns the ball.
One of those old Ed Podolak face masks like you used to wear, Bob.
One thing we got in common with Ed Podolak is our names end in AK. That's it.
That's right. As Jim Zanuck tells us in our year, the leather helmets didn't you wear back then?
No.
I formation. And 33 seconds left on the clock, and that'll start it again. In there at quarterback, by the way, is number 80, Carlo Gaba, the junior. And that'll bring up a third down now, and a loss on the play. Third and about 11 coming up.
Well, that could very well be our last play of the game. They're bringing in some substitutes. I don't think there's going to be another snap.
Fred Fuhr looking on, and you know what? This will be the fourth shutout for the Oaks this season. The Oaks go to 6-1 on the season, and 4 of those 6 have been shutouts. Another great defensive effort by the Dondero Oaks as they shut out the Adams Highlanders 12-0. Adams just could not do anything offensively. Jack Runcie coming across, a little disappointed on that last call, but just could not do anything offensively with the great defense that the Dondero Oaks have had this year, and they've shown some great ability on that defense. The defensive backfield is not only strong, but they were able to stop the run tonight.
Well, their defense came up with some key plays, of course, causing fumbles. I think that was the key to their defense today, and stopping the run, making Adams pass, and when they did pass, they weren't consistent.
The final here at Dondero. The Oaks 12, Adams nothing. We'll be back with some final stats for you. They should be pretty interesting on the side of the Oaks. A lot of yardage, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after these messages.
When we learn, the world is rich with possibilities, and school is where our dreams take flight. A great novel gets its start. A language is discovered. A new generation of scientists explore. United Artists Cable is building a partnership with America's schools through an innovative project, Cable in the Classroom, sending programs designed exclusively for the classroom, providing new data and software tools. Teachers, parents, and United Artists Cable together, enriching the tools of education. A commitment to this community that each of us at United Artists Cable is proud to be part of, because excellence in education benefits every one of us.
Join us for Cable in the Classroom.
Brought to you by United Artists Cable, partners in Cable in the Classroom and contributing to the tools of education.
Well, 12-0 the score. The Dondero Oaks scored on their first possession, and it didn't get it in the end zone until the fourth quarter in this play, Bob.
Well, here's the final touchdown, the second touchdown of the day. Straight handoff. Look at this. He just follows his running back, runs right in to his running back, and his momentum took him over the goal line for the touchdown.
That was number 46, his fullback, leading the way, and that was Andy Whitney. Whitney scored the first touchdown. And
he gets a three-pointer on this.
That's right. And Perino followed up with another 12. The first one scored back in the first quarter with 8:59 left. Perino carried it for about 10 yards, fumbled it. Whitney picked up the recovery and took it in for the first 6 points. The extra point was no good, and then Perino scored on that one in the fourth quarter. Final stats for you, and you can tell it pretty much picked up in the second half for Dondero as they came out of the halftime locker room knowing that it was homecoming and really gained a big hand in that rushing yardage there.
Well, take a look at 211 rushing and 11 passing. They didn't need to pass in the second half. Controlled the clock most of the second half, 10 first downs, 1 turnover, which really didn't hurt them other than they had a chance to score on that 11-play drive. They threw the interception. So other than that, other than the interception at the goal line, the second half was all Dondero.
Yeah, it was. First downs, a big margin there. And then time of possession, the Oaks ate up the clock in the second half with some big drives. Didn't get in the end zone, but they ate up the clock and pretty much dominated. Leaders, as we can take a look for Adams and the Highlanders, pretty much McDougal on the ground with 10 carries for 48 yards, and a great job by the Oaks in stopping him. Rushing leaders for the Oaks was Tony Perino. Perino coming up with 23 carries for 141 yards, and a big night for Tony Perino here on homecoming. Don't forget, next week it'll be the Clawson Trojans taking on Warren Mott at Clawson Saturday and Monday night at 7 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. Back here at Dondero, and hearing some stray audio there, but it is 12-0 the final score as the Dondero Oaks defeat the Adams Highlanders 12-0. For Bob Griglak and for all of us here at United Artists Sports, this is Dave Zorin saying join us next week when we'll be at Clawson. Thanks for tuning in.